Hello. Hello, everyone. Here I am at, I'm at the Corinthian Gardens. It's a little sunny, which is a really beautiful space that my friend Shirley just brought me to. It's in the Fairmount section of Philadelphia. And behind me, you'll see the historic penitentiary here. It was built by Quakers, actually, to be a space of meditation that ultimately ended up driving people insane. There's lots of sort of famous characters who've gone through here. But what's really important about it today, I think, is that they they bring a focus on incarceration and decarceration. And so when you go inside, you'll see many things that connect imprisonment and why we imprison and who we imprison. And anyway, I highly recommend it if you are in Philadelphia to come here. And then when you're done inside, you should come out to the Corinthian Gardens, which is right along the edge. And there's a whole public space you can walk around. There's a space for kids. There's a public herb garden, and then there's behind me, these are individual plots that people tend. So it's a long introduction to week 8. Week 8 is one of my favorite weeks. The main thing that we're going to start to do this week is start to interview writers that we want to teach. So the goal here is to get enough data and enough information from the people we want to teach so that we can then use the last half of the semester to really design for teaching writing online. So who do I mean, the writers you want to teach? So some of you are already teaching, and so one thing you can do is talk to people that you've taught in the past, talk to people you might know you're going to teach in the future, and find out from them what it is that they need, what they care about, what their interests are, and what they're looking for in your through your teaching. For those of you who aren't teaching, some of you have ideas about whom you'd like to teach, right? So you want to teach college level composition, you want to teach business writing at, maybe community college or independently, you want to set up a tutoring program, etc. So what I'd really like you to do is find people who are close to those people that you'd like to teach, that are sort of like those people you'd like to teach. Ask family members to ask friends of family members, talk to neighbors, see if you can talk to your neighbor's 18-year-old or 19-year-old kid who just started college and is in a comp class right now. Try to find people who are close to the kind of people that you would like to teach. And we're also going to start to use a design thinking framework. So this is kind of like moving into sort of human centered design or design thinking. I have one that comes from the National Equity Project that is about liberatory design, and it really supports thinking about equity and design at the same time. It's based on the idea that if you design without trying to address equity, that you replicate inequity. I've used it now for a few semesters, and it seems to be helpful for people to really think about a designing process for teaching writing online. So with the goal in mind that by the end of this semester, you're going to have something that you can use beyond this class, that you're going to design something beyond this class. We're going to use a design thinking framework to support that. And for those of you with curricular experience and curriculum design experience, you can use this framework with your sort of approach to curriculum design. And for those of you who don't have too much curriculum design framework, I'll support you in doing, having some options for really looking particularly at curriculum as you're going along this design process. So we'll be using a design framework and what is often called, as I said, human-centered design. And that framework brings a focus on first understanding who you're designing for before you start to design. It probably will also take you more than 1 week to do these interviews. So I will take that into account as we move into week 9. All this stuff will bleed into each other a little bit. It's important that we start to tackle all these different design elements together. But this week is when I want you to really start to identify who you want to interview and then start to do interviews. And there's some guidelines in Blackboard about how to do this. If you're struggling with sort of finding people to talk to, I'm happy to try to help you with that. There might be some previous students from this class that actually would have ideas too. I've included a bunch of equity resources to really help us sort of be intentional about designing with equity in mind as we move forward. And then our social reading will be Pose, Wobble, Flow, which is really about working to always get better and not necessarily, knowing that it's a process and it's imperfect and it'll shift and change as we go. All right. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to seeing all the work that you're doing right now and really looking forward to see what you surface through these interviews. Have a great week ahead.